think everybody coaches everybody. I don't have a set person that I sit down with. And how I figured that out is everybody, we all are designed to work together, to field each other. Iron sharpens iron.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Soapbox Hustle, where hustle meets strategy in the world of service. I'm James Barnes first. We got Raz Hassan over here, and we got a very special guest with us today. Raz, you want to read off a short bio of Miss Jacqueline Smith, better known as Jax?
Word up. Shout out to Jax. So Jacqueline Smith, known as Jax, is a multi-hyphenate leader in consulting, media, production, and community building. She is the founder of Legacy in Motion, helping entrepreneurs and creators bring vision to life through strategy, branding, and execution. As the VP of production at Creative Theory, she champions bold storytelling rooted in culture and collaboration. And she also leads the Monetary Exchange, a financial literacy event spotlighting Black and brown entrepreneurs. And at the heart of all of her work is the power of relationships and legacy, connecting people, projects, and purpose to build impact that lasts for generations.
Man, that's a lot.
Yeah, give
that's
it up for Jax.
Give it up for Jax, y'all. Jax can't be represented, man. Putting us to shame over here, man.
No shame. No shame for anybody.
No, we're all
yeah.
good. But Jax, you want to, I guess we kind of had some conversations off camera about, your founder story, how you got started. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was interesting that, going back to childhood, you said you were nonverbal.
Yeah. So for the first 8 years of my life, I didn't speak. I did have, at the time, called just a disability, a learning disability. I was born in the early 90s, so in that time, mental health was still a taboo. It didn't start breaking out to 2015, 10, 15, to where it's like, oh yeah, we all need mental health services, Absolutely. Right? But then it didn't work out like that. So childhood was a little bit different. But in that time, I was able to spend more time observing because I wasn't speaking, because I wasn't interacting. It's like it was a superpower. Like I could see what was actually happening. And a lot of the things that were happening, we were causing. From my mom to my cousins to the neighbors to the friends to everything. It's like, you do know if y'all just, so that's...
Y'all stop talking.
If you just, you
find a solution, right? We can come out of this mess, right?
A lot of it for me was also the repetitive behavior. Like humans, we change people, but we do the same thing. So we are always in a cycle of insanity, not realizing that we are our common denominator in our life. So every day, even for example, me coming from a background that's not typically ideal, not as resourceful, not with a lot of love, you know what I'm saying? As an ideal family, dynamic would be. So by coming from that, being able to see that you won't cause most of the problems that happen to you in your life. You will not. But you will be 100% responsible for solving them.
Absolutely.
So it's just if I'm the common denominator in every part of my life, every single thing that I'm doing, then there's something that I'm doing that's either allowing Absolutely. Or causing. So Absolutely. Once I stop and say, okay, what am I doing? What am I causing? So I keep going for the wrong person, but my favorite person is the guy with the tank top on and he yelling at everybody outside, right? But they have the same trait as the last, that's the thing. Okay, I need to adjust myself. What in that do I attract and where else can I find it besides in this area here? So that's just with people, you know what I'm saying?
I'm a firm believer in a lot of the situations, if not, I'm gonna say majority of the situations that we find ourselves in, we create these situations, right?
Always.
Subconsciously and almost just going through the same cycle over and over again. So the fact that you were able to sit back and observe and say, all right, I recognize you keep doing this, you keep doing that, right? And I've created solutions to these problems. How did you start to, get people to listen to you in a sense?
No. For the last 10 years, people they see me coming, they no.
Here she go. Just know it all.
Oh my goodness. How did I get people to listen to me? To continue where we were at. So coming from the background I came from, right? So ideally, or obviously, I did all of the wrong things, right? So made bad decisions. So I'm able to solve your problems, but I'm not able to solve mine. And if it's a person who just have eyes to see and ears to hear, you can see the errors in myself as well, just as I can see the errors in yourself, right? So what ended up happening is I decided the way to get people to listen to me, because it was okay, for example, you have this issue going on, and I'm able to say, oh, well, if you do this and do that and stop doing this, and then they turn around and look at, because when you put people in front of a mirror, you see what I'm saying? When you're showing people hey, these are your errors, the first thing we do is defend.
Absolutely.
That's the first thing we do. So now it's like, oh, you talking to me, but you was with me the whole time. Like, you see what I'm saying? So it's just like, I had to make sure that I corrected myself first, and that was most important. So I went on a journey of small areas in my life. I didn't like do like the whole movie thing where it's like, oh, a year. No, very small journeys in my life, because I started to realize it's hard to be critiqued. So I had to first get critiqued, and I started asking for, like, hey, how did I do on this? Like, what do you think about this? Even my kids. Like, so how was mommy this week? Did you feel like I need to do anything else? And when I was able to do that, I got quiet for like 2 years. Like, I'm like, yeah, I ain't saying nothing to nobody, because that stuff hurt. Yeah. It don't feel good to like, oh, that's your perception? That's how you thought of it? So how I got people to listen to me is I realized that perception is reality. Me and you are sitting here right now, but if we look directly this way, right? Right. The first thing you see, tell me what's the first thing you see, just that way.
I see your brother standing right there, man, supporting you.
Oh, I see a black bag with green on it. So we're in the same place at the same time.
Say the vision.
So our perception, though, how we're walking through our life is not the same as each other. It's times where, you're like, we always there. How you ain't figure out what's going on? Right. Because our perception is different. Through a different lens. So when I realized...
You got glasses on, too. You can see a lot further than I can.
Excuses. Only solutions. Never excuses, always solutions.
Look,
that's one of my rules. Right. But no, so when I realized that, it took me, it was like, whoa. So you telling me that we see things differently, although we in the same room? And who confirmed that for me? I feel like God confirms things for me in a lot of different ways. And Lil Wayne and, was it Drake? Right above it, it's a song they got. He said we in different buildings, but we got different views. I'm like, oh, that's what. So I kind of connected the two there, because I was in that area. So anyway, I use music as confirmation. Okay. But no, so when I realized that, I had to like kind of take a step back, because it led to, okay, so why do you think that way? Why is it that you can see support and I'm seeing art? Well, also, we have to connect the fact that where we come from, how we were raised, what's happening in our now, the things that affected us. When we meet each other, we don't realize the backgrounds that we have, right? So we don't know where we're coming from. So there's no way for you to gauge a person's perception except to listen to understand them. And when you respond, you're not defending yourself, but you're kind of like just going with it. So like one of the things that I teach people is you have to listen to understand. And when you're listening to understand, it's hard not to be on the fence, because sometimes it's like an attack. Like, you constantly telling me where I'm wrong or where I'm hurt or where it's something like that. And it's like, that's not what I'm doing. Identifying certain areas that, hey, if you don't get with this area, the rest of this is not going to go. Right. So, yeah. So once I was able to connect how our perceptions matter in all that we do, it was easier for people to start to listen to me. I won't say that they take it well, but they do listen now.
Jax, I got a question for you. So you said, yes, people listen to you, and you talked about the importance of how you coach people and how you show them the differences in their perspective on where they are and where they want to be. And you talked about how you can see the faults in other people, or we can, as humans, see the faults in other people more quickly than we can see the faults in ourselves. And we can accept them in other people more quickly than we can accept them in ourselves. Right. So what's your perspective on coaching, and do you have coaches? Because I know you coach other people, but talk about some of the coaching that you've received to help you look at yourself.
Okay, to be 100% honest with you, everyone around me is my coach. Every person that I come into is a coach. Remaining teachable in every aspect of your life. There is no such thing as, oh, I've been doing that for 10 years. I got that. No, 10 years ago, that made sense. But 10 years later, it should be some adjusting. It should be growth. It should be improvement. Some evolution, right? So my biggest coach overall is God. It's always, I'm in the Bible. I'm in, so Mike Todd, I don't even know if he knows he's coaching me. That's my guy. Kurt Franklin, I don't know if he knows he's coaching me, but that's my guy too. Right. So it's like, but no, for real. Like, honestly, my baby brother, his level of discipline is crazy. And I teach that to people, but ask me how much of it I get there myself. Right. So, his thought process, like, once he hones in, like, oh no, this is what I need to do. He first look at himself. What do I need to do in myself to improve? And I watch that like daily. And so like everybody around me as a coach, Studio Zero, Marquette, I have met every time I talk to him. I learn, I'm growing. It's like I get a homework, I take it as a homework assignment. So when I come back to him, I'm ready for the next thing. Or, so I think everybody coaches everybody. I don't have a set person that I sit down with. And how I figured that out is everybody, we all are designed to work together, to field each other. Iron sharpens iron. And that's another thing in the Bible. But what God is telling us that if we work together, good times and bad, hard times or not, that we can build each other up in just that way. Outside of that, I had medical backgrounds, but nothing in this field. I literally learned. So with my job is any person that's coming to me, I never know their field. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know their background. I don't really know. But if you tell me what it is that you truly want to do, what is your passion? Like, how are you trying to create this? I can do it. So it's just like, if you say it once, show me once, and you don't never have to tell me again, I got it. And then we can build from there. So to wrap that story up, I end up walking in the office with 6 women. In 30 days, I was the only person running the office. The reason why money was missing is because they didn't realize how they were coding it. So they had $86,000 just sitting in the air. Wow. They kept sending it they didn't realize that they needed to adjust. When the billionaire talked to me, he figured it out. He came in the office and he's like, who are you and how did you and what happened? Wow. And so I answered the questions for him. I said, well, if you just look here, if you have your account and relook at your books, when is the last time the business plan that you had was good for the initial startup, but you're still been moving that initial startup when you're 2 years in. You shouldn't be sending that exact same money. Something's wrong with that. So you should be quarterly. When you start a business, granted the first 2 to 3 years, really 5, you don't really see too much of a profit. But how can I start seeing the profit? Because some of us, we got businesses that can really take off and we can really be doing more, right? Well, after the first 90 days, right, of successive launch, you should reevaluate everything. How you did it, how much money you put in it, who you used to do it, how did it work? And then now that's a new plan.
No, that's a powerful point, right? So we talk about, right, turning a hustle into a business. Mm-hmm. You made a great point in early on, right? We could not stick to the same systems that got us started. Was not sustainable once we seen significant growth, right? Yeah. So part of the IMG story is we took some major losses, right? Because we grew so fast and our infrastructure wasn't built to handle that type of growth, right? So we had to learn the hard way. But the entrepreneurial response was, all right, let's break these things down, right? To the bare bones. We identified all the inefficiencies and then we built systems that, could last a long time, but still evaluating every 30 to 90 days to say, okay, what are some improvements we can make, right? How can we adjust here or adjust there to make this thing work? But what were some of the key points where I know you examined the books? What were some of the other things that you noticed and were able to go in and kind of rectify to, keep that business afloat?
Literally, to be 100% honest with you, it was the attitude. It was the people delivering. It was a few times where I had to come in contact with them and it's like, do I really want to keep this job? Like, why am I doing this? Like, I had to ask myself, it's really human to human interaction. The human to human interaction from the property managers to the tenants. The craziest part about it is the tenants, they were 30%, 40%, 50% Section 8. So what that means is a percentage of their company, the government gives them money for to do low income, right? And in Texas, because I was in San Antonio, Texas at this time, they do luxury low income. So even though you low income, you ain't got to look like you low income, right? Still living good. Yeah, so the people really didn't want to go anywhere. The problem is it started off luxury, but you guys aren't keeping it up. And the answers to why, the maintenance man, she got a nasty attitude, like we just gonna let it leak, they're gonna kick her out. Wow. This is not your money. This is not your property. That is her home. Yeah. We're selling homes. You got to change the narrative. So with them, when I got them to understand that you're not just selling a property, we just making him rich. No, you went to school to learn maintenance, right? You get up every day. This is a reflection of everybody. This is your craft. Yeah. And one thing God tells us in the Bible, whatever job you do it to the best of your ability and beyond. You put everything into it. And a lot of people always is like, they don't pay me enough for that. This doesn't happen. I'm not about to sit here and make people rich. That's not the point of doing it. You're in a place of service. When you're providing a service, you're in a place of service. You're called to serve. So if I say I have a service for you, even if you tell me like, Jackie, I can't handle your $50 an hour budget. Yeah. All right, cool. Can you do 10? Yeah. Because this is believing the person and give them that. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Man. So that was the thing. It was the human-to-human interaction. Once I literally taught everybody in the room, like I literally, no lie, I'm not gonna lie to you. This was a $3,000 class 4 times a month, no matter who showed up. I put it off the top of my head because I was really angry when I realized like this. And so when I said the number, I don't even know. I wanted them to say no and just get rid of me because I was tired of it. But I did keep at it because I felt it. Like, I believed in it. One thing that I firmly believe in, I don't care what your problems are in life. I don't care how bad it is out there. Do not do anything you do not like doing.
Yeah.
Do not do anything you don't. If you can't see yourself doing this thing in 5 years, don't do it today.
Yeah.
It's a waste.
Man, you had a great point too. You talk about we talk about rebuilding systems, right? You talk about the people.
That's so
you
important.
got to understand that the people are a part of the system, right?
Yeah.
So when I reference right that we didn't have the infrastructure, I realized I had to change the people that were at the top, right? That was a beginning mark for us to say, okay, these people were able to get us here. What can they get us to here?
Yeah. So when we realize that, it's like, I see what you're trying to do. Let me talk to that person. And sometimes that person is guarded by all of our trauma, by our mental health, by too many people said I couldn't, so many people said I could but didn't do. When I asked for the push, they couldn't give it to me. I just can't find the energy within myself. Like, I can dream it, but I don't know how to articulate it. We blocked by so many different things.
Absolutely.
So when I can shave all this down and like, hey, listen, it's on you. It's whatever you want me to do, I work for you. And when people realize they got a person that's for them, this isn't just a job. This isn't just a business. This is a relationship. This is a little bit deeper than that. Like, you can't put a price on it sometimes. There are a few businesses right now where I was able to resonate with them to a degree where it's like ongoing. We don't have to pay me. You just call me and what's going on, and we're going to get in there. We're going to work it out.
No, I love it. I love it. So I'm assuming that situation worked out for the better, right?
For myself, and what ended up happening is I was able to lease up the place. It took me about 4 months, but I was able to lease up the place with some small rebranding, with just like, I'm in heels with the maintenance people, painting the walls too, picking up the trash too, getting with the people, talking to the community. Word of mouth is the best way to do anything. So starting to do monthly functions. I had an open door policy. I got to learn things I probably never need to know about anybody in that place, but they needed that. It was like, even just being like that dump, like they needed like just to move on a day. Like, you know what, this thing is fresh for me. I don't have another place to scream, so I'm come scream at you. And it changed the entire dynamics. They say, hey, you know what, we live in Texas. It's hot. We want a pool. We put a pool right in the middle of the walkway.
So listening to the people, I think is important. Your processes behind, making these transitions, right? You talk about being on the grounds with the people, right?
Yeah.
Did you create different incentive plans to keep employees around? I know being a great leader is having the ability to have your followers, in a sense, right, to buy into the vision. You'd be able to articulate that vision to them. So offering different things outside of compensation, right? You say that everybody living a great life, their bills are paid. What's keeping you here, right? How can I offer these things to keep you around, to keep you motivated while you're part of my organization? But the incentive plan and then having the ability to have them tap into or buy into the system, right? How did those things serve you later on, and how did that set you up for the next client?
To be 100% honest, it was the relationship part of it. They didn't. Once we got in there and we got down and we started to build back up, they weren't offered too many structures, because what we do is corporate takeovers too. So the corporate takeover is, I bought your business. I'm gonna come in as an employee. I'm gonna see how it works. We're gonna know who we gonna keep, who we gonna drop. We don't want to fire nobody, because then that's on us. We got to take care of that. So what we do is we make you quit.
Is that something similar to what they did at the Slutty Vegan, a corporate takeover, when the business was, the debt was steady rising, and the cash flow wasn't matching the expenses? So I think she references.
Yep. So that's exactly what it is. We call it a corporate takeover. So we'll come in, we'll buy a business, we'll pay off their debts and all the things, and we'll come in, and my job is to, and literally it's crazy because I created my avenue. So just to back up quickly, they didn't have a position for me. I was to come in there and figure out what the problem was and report it back. So when I figured out what the problem was and I reported back, the next thing he wanted was the solution. So I went back. Now I saw the problem, but how do I figure out the solution, right? So I go in there, I figure out a solution. Literally, it's a people problem. It was a human factor the whole time, and it's always that, right? So now it's like, okay, what do you need from me for you to do your job right? Okay.
So hold on. So when you say people problems, is it not qualified or not motivated?
So what qualifies a person to do something in my book is the ability to want to do it, and the discipline that they create within themselves to create that process and go ahead and do it. Because I read books, and I've been to college 6 times, but I've read books, and that's where I'm at in the places that I love to be. So, but money-wise, they were, oh yeah, well, if you pay us this, right? If you give us these incentives. So I gave everybody the money they asked for. Not really though. I told them that I would. I said, okay, that's it. You want $10 more? They had outrageous numbers. Like real talk. Like one guy was making $36,000 a year. He felt that he was at $75,000 a year. I said
Hold on. He on paper he was making 30,000.
36,000. But he felt he was 75,000. That's what he should have been being paid for all that he does.
Okay, got you.
And I asked him, like, okay, that's a huge gap. But he had education. He had all the back. Like, technically, I guess from his point of view, he was worth more. Problem, you drink on the job the whole time. Like, you smell like, since the day I met you.
I need that extra money to support my habits.
Like,
y'all tripping, man.
and I don't knock nobody. Everybody got their things. But if you can't drink on the job and smell like alcohol and expect, and he's great at what he does. They didn't want to let him go. They was like, oh, no, we know he drinks. And I'm like, so we did that in every aspect, all the way to maintenance, all the way around. And then I was done. So I called the mentor and my dad's mentor, and I'm like, okay, I got this done. And she was like, yeah, so he has 17 more properties. I need you in New York. I need you back in Cleveland.
Wow.
I had to go to Austin. I had to go to El Paso. I had to go to Mexico. I did not go to Mexico. That was on the list. I did not go to Mexico. I got to the border. I turned around. I got nervous. I didn't want to cross the border. It's traveling. It was too far. Even though I had a team with me, it was just too much. Like, no. So anyway, so she had all them things. And I'm sitting here like, no, I was coming to help. I only came to Texas to visit for 6 weeks, and I was going back home. And that turned into, we literally created a position specifically for what I do. So we went business to business, and it didn't just stop there. It was literally that. So I guess that's probably the true route to my consulting.
Say, look, in hindsight, that was it. That was the business, right? Because you could have created the systems and just had your own staff going from, property to property, teaching people how to, maintain operations. But that's a powerful story. So, Rod, I know you had a question you wanted to ask. So
that's the piece, was it the Legacy Consulting?
That's rebranded. So it started off as J.S. Stallings LLC, and it is now rebranded as A Legacy in Motion.
Okay.
So
you did create the entity out of that?
Yes.
Okay, look.
Execute Steve's vision.
With that Legacy in Motion, now I really want you to tell us more about the creative theory.
Yes, that's my baby.
As well as the monetary exchange. So,
okay.
Tell me about some of the projects that you produce under the creative theory.
So with creative theory, I just got the vice president of operations, productions operations. I messed up the terminology. I suck at names. Sorry, guys. But with them, I started off as a PA. And this started in February of this year, y'all. So I started off as a PA. They saw me come in with a client. So I had a client, and she was in acting and music. She was in a bunch of different fields, but she really wanted to do well here. She just, she didn't know how. So I'm like, okay, well, let me come to a couple of things with you, see what you're doing, see what's going on, and we'll go from there. So my work there, I ended up falling in love with everything that I was seeing. They were doing their first movie, The Blueprint. It premieres soon. So after working with her a few times, again with the team, accidentally getting pushed into the movie, I have tiny parts that I didn't expect to have, but I do.
You got to add actor to the bio now.
Because none but
actress.
Right?
Oh Jesus. Okay, so so this small parts, and Logan saw me working, and he just he reached out to my client at the time,
Shout out to Logan, man.
And he brought me on, and so first I was production assistant, personal assistant, but I kept growing. And see, me, I'm always hungry. And when I say remain teachable, always reading, always improving self, always gain that knowledge. If you go into a new field and you don't know, even with this, consistently be reading, consistently be educating yourself. Go out there, see what other people are doing. Not so you can mimic it. It's knowledge. It's like going to school, but in the field of what you want to do, right? It's crash course in college.
You can learn from other people's experiences, right? I ain't got to go over there and do the same thing he did. If I can read about it and learn from it and apply it, and I could take all these different people and do the same thing.
And it's so crazy because that's one thing that I want to say. So Logan has a mission, right? And I've learned that a few people in Cleveland do. We're trying to put Cleveland back, right, on the map. But what I'm learning in Cleveland, it is so high school. It's I got the jocks here, I got this person there.
It's so political.
Yeah, and it's the thing about it is, iron sharpens iron, right? That's people. The iron is people, right? We do that. if we open our doors to allow a conversation, like, it's like I've been in so many rooms, and a lot of people in the rooms I'm in, people are like, "You're so quiet, you're not saying anything," because there isn't, there's no freedom in these rooms. Like, everybody is like, okay, I know I came through with this person, so I got to make sure this is like this is like this. I'm in a room, I'm getting cards from everybody. Half these people don't do nothing I do. They don't have, but I'm engaging. Like, we don't open the doors to allow people to see. Like, and when we do, we make it very hard for you to get in. Like, first of all, we all humans, right? Your blood is blue before it turned red, like air, just like mine. You know what I'm saying? We got the same DNA, everything, right? We are a great race on this earth. And the fact that we ourselves cannot say, you know what, you got something good going on, you know, I just want to celebrate it. And then you can say, well, you know what, I see you got that going over there. It's not the same business, but I can put you in rooms with these people. We can all sponsor each other. We can all have each other back. We don't have to, you know what I'm saying, know each other. I get aligning with certain behaviors, but just because he was messed up yesterday, don't mean he's here today. And that could be a misunderstanding because none of us was there. So allow us, Cleveland needs to allow all of us to be creative in the same space because we can.
Yeah, and like I said, I think it is very political. And speaking of politics, shout out to future councilman over there,
Oh,
Mr.
yes.
I'm not Ward 3. Ward 3.
Yep.
Get your votes in.
Yes.
And support Raz Hassan on his, his political journey. But
Need help? Let me know.
Will do. So, but standing back watching, I look at, always said this to me and Rod had these conversations. I think it's Cleveland split into two different sections, right? Mm-hmm. You got like the popular in crowd, like the party goers who always on the scene. Then you got like the behind the scenes, the people who handling their business, people like Rod, right? But those two worlds rarely ever collide, right? And I think when and if they do, it'll be magical for the city.
Right? Yeah, it will. And that's exactly what the monetary exchange. That's exactly what it is. So to end with creative theory, just real quick, because I know we kind of jumping around. I do that a lot. I'm sorry. With creative theory, it is an amazing place, amazing dynamics. They open the door for like everybody, creatives, getting ready to start doing some short forms. I do the standard operating procedures. I create everything on the technical side that we need. Any business, any pitches, how we're going to make it happen, all those things. So those are the things. Look out for creative theory. They have some short form coming up. We got a lot of things coming for everybody.
Creative theory. What you want to drop a website or a way to get in contact with Creative Theory?
So Creative Theory does have a website. It's creativetheory.com, and then Instagram, Creative Theory page, and then Logan Kingston and Katie Starr's Instagram, which is their names, just like that. So yeah, and then the monetary exchange. So monetary exchange, that is man. That's my baby right there. Like I feel like I'm about to birth. Like Cameron Woods, definitely. So what we do is we take business, creatives, entrepreneurs, visionaries, all of the people, right? And we put them in the same room because no matter what craft you're in, you need money. What we lack, or what some don't have access to, is financial literacy. So like I can give you need $50,000. I can give you $50,000 right now to do your business, right? Yep. But can you take that money and do what you need to with it properly so you can do your business the way you want it, right? Like that is the part. Having a conversation. Who is the right person to talk to? Who can sponsor me? They don't have to be doing the same things. You have angel investors from all over the world that has no idea your craft, but they have an avenue for where, hey, I just want to sponsor something. I want to give something, right? So when you think about that, the monetary exchange bring all of those like-mindeds. We bring all of the top heads. So you got people like we have. Tenora Edwards is one of them. We have Jeff Brown. We have a few names just to say, because we got like special guest performances and all of the things. Gotcha. But when you have those names, these people are very great at what they do. They're also as equally passionate about what they do. They're constantly giving to the community. Tenora Edwards does so many things for the community, consulting. It's just so many things. I think that might be the next person I ask to be my coach, matter of fact, while we talking. So yeah, so we're going to add her too. But when you see them, they're not people that's easily, you can't get to them easily. Access, yeah. For sure. So we give access to everybody to see those people. And when you're in the room with them, we don't just say, okay, this is a mixer and you guys know it. No. So Cameron came up with this really creative way to get the mixers. So what Cameron does is, speed dating, you remember speed dating where you come in and you talk for 10 seconds and then you switch people? Yeah. He does that with the at the monetary exchange. And so we get everybody like now, okay, the introverts, the extroverts, the shys, the ones like me with social anxiety who is terrified to sit in between people, but I can talk to a crowd, just don't come too close, right?
While you might be shy or hesitant to speak with somebody, this gives you a chance to connect with that person without having, let me get up the guts and go and introduce myself.
You just kind of
you're almost forced to look. Let's see how we. And then you might, you never know who you'll come across and who might, hold the keys to some of the things that you're trying to accomplish.
Exactly. And since sometimes another thing that I love about the monetary exchange, because I wasn't always a part of the monetary exchange, I just recently became a part of it after its second quarter run. So we're in the third quarter, and then we have one in November. So the monetary exchange will take place July 31st. Tickets are on sale now. So
shout out Monetary Exchange. What's the website or?
So it's the monetary the Monetary Exchange. The flyers are there. The links are there. It does go to our landing page, which is themonetaryexchange.com. So those things are all there. But what we do there, bringing everybody in, we do kill out the noise. But the monetary exchange is something we want to bring everywhere, because it's not just the exchange of money, it's the exchange of knowledge. Sometimes it's a conversation. I don't need to have like-minded people to just invest in. I don't got to just sit around everybody who do a podcast, or I don't got to sit around just everybody who does film. No, you can get it from everybody, and you never know who's in the room. So, get in the room and you talk and you make these connections. I know every time I leave the monetary exchange, I got like 6 new clients, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. I got an extra mentor. I have a better understanding of things than I did before. And then by you getting engaged with those people, you gain the access and the knowledge of those people. And knowledge is only powerful when you use it.
Absolutely.
At the monetary exchange, we give you all the knowledge, and you can literally immediately start to use that knowledge and, make the situation improve and whatever you're trying to do.
Wow. So how often does the monetary exchange have meetings?
The monetary exchange is quarterly. After this one, we will start a newsletter. We've built up enough traction and enough people to where we're going to have a newsletter, just kind of extending the monetary exchange. But right now we do it quarterly, so every 3 months.
You say you built up the traction for the newsletter. So for our audience out there, what was that critical mass or that number that you all wanted to hit before you started the newsletter?
Okay, I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. They didn't know. We didn't know.
Okay.
We didn't know. So what ended up happening is I wanted to see the data. So in order for me to come in with the monetary exchange, and I did come in as just consultant at the time, I went to the second monetary exchange. I experienced the first one virtually just because my schedule didn't match. And then the second one, again, no schedule. The second one, my schedule matched that one. So I ended up attending. And I didn't get there on time because of things, but from what I witnessed, it's like, oh crap, I see what he's doing. I saw how people were interacting. And I just became I just went in like a corporate takeover. I just went in there like, I'm an entrepreneur. How can we all exchange? We end up being able to connect people, to connect to other people that we knew. What we created was crazy. And so I'm like, okay, so when we're going to the drawing board, the next one, it's gotta be bigger and better. The thing we thought of was Black Wall Street. So now it's like, how do we make this meet up to that name, Black Wall Street, right? So it was like, let's collect the data from before. And then people kept asking us about the monetary exchange as I'm looking at their social media, as I'm looking at different things. They're consistently like, oh, when is the next one? What's going on? And how did that turn out? Or what's the results? And recap videos just didn't seem like enough. So I'm like, okay, let's take the data from the last two, which is the ticket sales. So we get name, we get email, we get number, right? And so that's our client base. So the idea was to have like 50 to 75, not realizing it, because this is another one of those where we got to look at our business at each time and it should be adjusted. And since this is at an every 3 month mark, it should be adjusted. Right. But it's just some things we just don't know until we know, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So when we gain the knowledge, like, okay, wait, before we do ticket sales, we got 150 people. 150
that already show interest.
But we only keep thinking about 50, 75, but it's 150 of them. Wow. And that was just for the two. As soon as we started the marketing, it's about the 50 we was looking for was 75, and I'm pretty sure it's going to grow from there.
Absolutely.
So then it's like, okay, the people want to stay engaged, and they ask them all of these questions. How do we keep the people engaged? Well, I said, once we finish this monetary exchange, we'll start a newsletter, and Cameron also came up with the monetary exchange. Just a quick 15 seconds here and there throughout the week, to where those guest speakers, we kind of get them a little bit more time, and we give that to our audience. So just keeping them engaged and getting ready for the next monetary exchange. So that's how we came up with that.
Solid, man. Look, it's been an absolute pleasure sitting here with Miss Jacqueline Smith, better known as Jax.
Yes.
want to shout out your socials, they need some business coaching, right? They need to turn operations around. How they get in touch with you?
Right, just some motivation overall.
Okay, so the social medias are, I will honestly say, under construction, and I have to tell you guys the truth about that.
Okay.
I took
Attend a monetary exchange. That's how you get in touch with you.
Yes, the monetary exchange. Cameron Woods, Logan Kingston, Katie Starr, Creative Theory, all of the things. You can find me there. I will have social media soon, and you guys will see it there. I took a fast on social media. It was supposed to be for a year. It turned into 2. I'm now in year 4, and it is so hard to get back on because evil is trending. Negativity is trending. I was just recently told that nobody wants, it's a show idea that we have coming up. And when we pitched it, to just an intimate group to see, and it's like, oh, you guys are selling positivity? Nobody wants to see that. Like, we're not going to buy into that. We want to see drama. We want negativity. And I'm sitting here like,
Wine thrown.
are y'all serious? I said, now I really got to do it. Now I have to produce it now. You know what I mean? So I am tasked by the end of this weekend, definitely before the monetary exchange, to have them up and running. I have built them. They're just not live. So
Got you. So real quick, this episode is brought to you by the Monetary Exchange. It's another great episode of the Soapbox Hustle, where hustle meets strategy in the world of service. Thank you again, Ms. Jax, for coming through.
Thank you guys for having me. This was awesome.
Rod, thanks for filling in, man. Or probably more of a you'll be around, man.
Yes.
Be sure to like, subscribe, and share it. Make sure you don't miss the next episode.